Work.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the Northern Arena presented by Bell. Game number 3, the ace match of NP versus FDL. Game 1 going the way of NP in a very quick, convincing match. Game 2, well, taking decidedly longer as FDL slowly but surely found themselves a win. I'm Zyori, joined again by Motpax here. Trent, how you feeling coming into Game 3? What are we thinking? Who's looking stronger, NP or FDL overall?
I mean, overall, we got to give the credit over to the NP boys in terms of like all the days and everything. But I think Game 2 was well played by FDL. I mean, it came off the back of mistakes by NP, but that's Dota, right? I mean, if you don't like perfectly win the lanes, then you're at that disadvantage. You have to fight back from that. So yeah, and maybe we'll see them draft more towards the laning stage this time. It kind of felt like, as you said, like they sacked the off lane. MGW made some great plays by heading up there, cutting the waves and whatnot. But if it's maybe more of like some pressure actually coming from the side of FDL, they've always kind of felt like they're on the back foot as NPR putting in that pressure to give that space up to AUI.
Yeah, absolutely. OD makes it through, and NP will scoop it up. We've seen FDL prioritize this hero a lot, and now NP will snipe it from them. The Oracle Axe banned out. We saw MJW, phenomenal Axe in game number 2, and of course the Oracle we've talked about oh so much. I imagine FDL will pick up Shadow Demon with one of these two. Seems pretty likely. The support that they've prioritized a lot, yeah, and there he is.
It's surprising that they, at least, I don't know, I guess to me it seems surprising that the OD was picked up by NP, but yeah, as you said, FDL have done very well with the hero. I don't think we've personally got to see an OD for them, right? Yeah, I'm just looking back, and we haven't had an OD for Team NP, so this will be the first time. Pretty much assume it'll be Envy in the mid lane for him. But yeah, they gave up Shadow Demon. Juggernaut, the other big hero of FDL, just want to go stock standard here. But it'll be the Nyx Assassin, the other classic hero gets the OD that probably would have got banned out in the second phase.
Classic. It is very annoying against OD. I think last time we saw this counter, where you sort of did the mental math in your head about how much damage the mana burn does, and it's kind of insane how quickly it starts to feel like an insane amount of damage, and when you get towards the late game, it actually is just an insane amount of damage. So a counter...
Like 6... Yeah, because it's 5 times right when it's max, so it was like he was doing like 600 damage or something absurd.
Yeah, and that's that's the name of the game for OD. So it's a counter in that sense, but Nick's not the end all be all. Unfortunately, he's not the unstoppable force, and Dazzle will be picked up with NP. Okay, we've seen OD. I think like at this point, Dragon Lance into Hurricane Pike is a fairly standard build for OD. Or maybe it's even the other way around. Some games you go Force Staff first. But the mobility tool. And I think Dazzle is a good support to pair with OD for 2 reasons. One, you're talking about 5-man a lot of the time when you've got Dazzle, and OD fits in with that very nicely because of his aura. Dazzle is one of those supports that has a lot of mana issues, even if he gets arcanes, stick, all that stuff. He's a hero that spams a lot of spells, so having the OD aura, it's like a support that benefits from it and then translates it into so much value with the AoE healing. It's a really good combo, and this could be the beginning of just a nasty 5-man for NP.
It almost kind of feels like the that game where they went Undying for NP, and they were running that like the 4-roll, like grippy, kind of like another additional sustain sort of a hero. But for now, Huskar removed. We haven't been able to witness any IO plays. It was being banned out up against Pain Gaming for the majority of the games and whatnot, but not sure if that could make an appearance in game number 3. Either team seeing a good opportunity for it is always a possibility. Huskar pick, I think, was definitely on the right mind. I think that's something that either team would have been very happy whipping out second. Dazzle, of course, tipping it off. Yeah, the big one here for FDL.
And with the support pool still wide open, you could grab a Wisp. There's all sorts of other things you could still pair up. It's just a nasty hero. NP will start to limit some of the illusion carries here, Luna being the first of which. TB, Morphling, Jug. Next few probably tempting for NP to ban out here. I think NP might want to take the Jug themselves if they can, if it doesn't get banned by FDL.
Yeah, the only thing I'd say is that it seems like for the hero, I mean, it would kind of fit that AUI style where he could, be on his own, be more survivable, but there's
usually Envy that plays
bigger heroes that he could go for. Yeah, and that is also true. It's usually Envy. Yeah. But someone like a Sven, someone like that Ursa being there, if that's also going to fit in, might provide more of that big impact to help create a little bit of room for
You think
OD
they'll
during
go
the team
Ursa
fights.
again?
It's
After that last game?
It doesn't seem evident yet. I mean, that first pick coming from FDL is going to be very telling. We don't know if this Nyx is going to be again paired up with like that Centaur Warrunner. Was he made him a position 4 last time, so that the we had the off lane. I think maybe you want more levels in a game like this to be up against the OD. You don't know if you're like sending it mid or something crazy. I don't really see Susie, Nyx Assassin coming here, to be honest, though. More than likely going to be a different mid hero.
All right, FDL. This is it. I wonder how they'll prioritize illusion carries. Like, they made the Luna work last game. But does FDL
Alchemist.
like really play Terrorblade? Alk is true. That is another good illusion
kind of like
core.
good hero up against OD in terms of like being in that mid lane. Like, you know, you're going to get dominated anyway, so you do that. Dazzle isn't that great early roaming, so like the 4 hero is still out there for NP who could be coming into that mid lane, but in terms of like bringing a lot of people to contest stacks, Dazzle's not the scariest.
Yeah, that's true.
But that would be a pretty decent option for FDL here, I feel like.
Void also still in the pool. They take the Omni Knight.
So I guess that makes this core Nyx more than likely here, unless it's like an MJW Omni, which isn't the most ridiculous thing ever either, I suppose.
Yeah, I don't think offlane Omni's that ridiculous. Although it really does depend what kind of a carry NP picks up here.
10 seconds remaining.
What's the
Raph's
second
here.
support that NP wants? What pairs nicely with the Dazzle? I mean, against Omni Shadow Demon, someone like Disruptor can be pretty nice. Just good team fight, nice silence lockdown. I always feel like it's nice to have a support that has some kind of a disable when you have a Dazzle, because Dazzle offers a lot, but definitely lacks in just general lockdown. They need some good spammable stuns. You know, like another Sven for AUI could be good here.
Yeah, I'm kind of like maybe someone like a Lion or something, or like, you know, even like Shadow Shaman, someone who like when you see that Nyx coming in, because you assume he's gonna be playing a big part in this game if he is gonna be in that core role, which looks to be the most likely thing. Where if you can catch him with a Hex or something into a stun, it'd be very beneficial to have a hero that's nice on that, heavy on the lockdown, and mobile units tend to go with the Nyx Assassin as well too, who are trying to like get quickly around the map to help him out.
There's the Void for NP. Pretty scary opener. Those 3 heroes alone on NP are kind of scary in a vacuum, and together it's... You got good late game, you got pretty sustainable lanes, great team fight whenever you want it, good mix of pure damage, physical damage, some magical.
Lots of nice damage to throw into the chrono from the OD. I don't know, I kind of feel like MSS Void again, probably I would say, right? If Session 1 Void, that's a Bisa thing. I don't really see AUI doing that. Could be if it ends up being handy for their lineup or whatnot. But
Definitely feels more like a Mojo hero.
yeah.
Now Mirana for FDL. Good
Looking
combo
familiar.
there. SD Mirana. Set up some arrows.
Plenty of magic bursts coming out.
So I feel like FDL need either a good late gamer here or some push, because right now they've got one of these lineups that you feel like they are not going to win late game, so that means you have to close out the game before 40 minutes or something. Not easy for them to do. Even if they win fights, this lineup does not push well at all. And oh boy, Elder Titan, great pairing with the Dazzle. Has that control that the Dazzle lacks, as we talked about, but also the synergy with the Void. At this point, a pretty well-known combo, but late game, I don't know if there's a better position for in terms of bringing down big beefy cores with that Earth Splitter. So this is, again, more credence to that point. When does FDL win this game? You know, do they pick like Medusa?
I think it is about that earlier push. Like, they are looking to fight earlier on in the game, right? I mean, they have an Omni Knight, they have a Nyx Assassin, Shadow Demon. Level 6 Vendetta comes up, roaming around the map, trying to set something up with Disruption into Arrow. There are some options for pickoffs. From there, transitioning into that sort of a push and a setup at a tower it makes sense why you go for something like this Elder Titan from NP. Stacks up nicely with the Chrono. Good little D push option. Good control that puts an element of like threat into FDL if they are setting up the towers. And then again, it helps out with vision. Vision's always gonna be important for someone like OD that's just trying to chase you down in the fight, give you those right clicks, throw a Hurricane Pike at you, something like that.
Okay.
It's overall been pretty damn solid for them, but going back to that final hero from FDL, you are kind of expecting something along the lines of that Luna, someone that could give them a hand with their overall push game.
Right.
13 back.
And with a Clink span, a little bit interesting. Would have been another ranged hero to throw in for AUI.
I mean,
Back
maybe
on
FDL
damage.
are thinking like a Terror Blade. That is some push that if they win fights, they can punish with meta. Maybe not the
Nyx.
best.
Put him
ooh,
inside the Nyx and just do like ganks with that.
Life Stealer. Yeah.
Yeah. Not the best. It's not too bad. I mean,
Reserve time.
other position ones that what have we seen them play lately? It was like we had Beast obviously on the Void a couple times. We had the Luna. They had some Huskar games going. They had that weird kind of Lycan game, right? That was something that we thought was pretty interesting. I wonder if it would go back to something like that.
I mean, it was a complete backfire, though. The Lycan was controlled so effectively, and it looked like the Lycan wouldn't be controlled that game, but it was just too much damage.
It was
TB.
also up against the Chronos too, but
Yeah, fair enough.
if they are thinking like push and trying to close this game out, that might be something that they do think of in their heads as being a viable one.
Yeah, I think TB is a really good ban here. I mean, Morphling is one of the next best illusion carries. I don't think he comes online fast enough. I think that's kind of a scary pick here. And NP are
still there.
looking at, yeah. I mean, for NP, ooh, they take
They're doing
Slardar.
it. All right, this is sick actually because, all right, Slardar the additional vision too for like the chasing and the fights.
Is this
Slardar is
safe
dope
lane
here, dude.
Slardar?
I don't think. I think this will be AUI.
Okay, I was thinking it would be
10 seconds.
AUI Slardar and MSS Void still, but I'm actually not sure. This will be interesting. Either way, it's still a great pick. Gives them that additional control they were lacking. Great synergy with Dazzle, all the physical damage they can put out. A very tough team to fight into. For FDL, what else can
Like
push?
easy running into Roach time, man. It's a good hero to jump into the middle of these fights, trying to
I mean, I
jump
think
in from the back
Alk is
lines.
maybe not the worst idea here.
Going back to the mid Alk and throwing Mirana in the safe lane.
Well, because Alk can come online very early. You know, if you do that like Attune style, you get the BK. They take the Morphling. Okay.
He's like the last stat carry that's left in this game.
I'm nervous for FDL here, honestly. I think this NP draft this feels a little more reminiscent of game number 1, where NP have this pretty conventional, very scary draft. Every lane is good, a lot of synergy across the team fight. 5-man looks 9 out of 10. FDL, they've got some tricks up their sleeve. You can always find initiation, or if you can find initiations with Nyx, you can always find a good fight. GA, big potential there to turn fights around, and same with Morphling. That's a hero we've seen time and time again get out of control, even in games where it looks like all hope is lost, and split push, farm his way back up to that point where he can just one-shot supports on the back line. So definitely,
The iconic Bisa hero.
yeah, definitely not all out for FDL. The illusion harassment with Shadow Demon will be really potent towards the late game, but don't you just sort of feel like this could be one of those games where NP gets a little advantage in the lanes, they win that first mid-game team fight, and then just command and conquer?
Yeah, but I mean that was kind of like last game too. And
Yeah, fair
didn't
enough.
exactly work out at the end for them. I'm so on board with this Slardar pick.
You're still ogling the ugly-ass Slardar, just like, yes.
I'm loving it, man. Like whenever I see these OD picks, all I can think of is like watching these fights where they just get kited endlessly and they buy this Hurricane Pike and it never seems that cool. But when you have the vision from the Spirit and have the vision from Amplified Damage, you just can't get away. You are like, if you are dead, if you get Hurricane Piked and Amplified Damage, you're dead.
Yeah.
You will die. Like you're taking 4. You've already probably been stunned at that point, and then you're taking 4 guaranteed right clicks from Envy.
Yeah, no, you're definitely on point. The synergy is nuts, and even just, I feel like Slardar was also the perfect pick aside from the vision, just because they were still light on like spammable stuns. You've got the Chrono, you've got Echo Stomp, which can be unreliable, and now you've got the mini Ravage from MSS here. So you were right. I was left. It will be MSS on the Slardar, and that means AUI takes the Void to the safe lane for a little bit of farming.
I
Really?
think the reason for this too is exactly what you see here, because SVG, the way we've seen him play this Elder Titan down coming from that dire side has been perfect. So paired up with someone like the Slardar is great because Slardar is very survivable with his sprint, but he also puts a threat there with the stun. So like MSS will be kind of playing this lane, and if you don't have eyes on SVG, you're never quite sure if he's about to just make this play where they're just gonna like stun you up into a sleep or something if your supports have left you, or if he's just gonna be in the mid lane harassing up on a Mirana too.
Yeah. It's true.
Whereas, like, I don't think you get that same benefit from having a Faceless Void down bottom.
Yeah, absolutely. What build do you think AUI goes for this game? We've seen a lot of
Just
the Vlads.
Yeah. It depends on the game, right? Like, if you're reading if you guys have a nice advantage, you just want to go Vlads and push down towers and grab Rosh's amplify damage, could be super useful in a game like this. If he's just on like complete and utter free farm, my only problem with Lincoln's would be it would just delay the Diffusal Blade more.
Yeah. I mean, the Vlad's Manta Diffusal definitely seems to be the
Right,
go-to, and especially against an Omni. Not even just having the ability to get rid of GA and repel, but also just having mana burn so you can lock somebody in a chrono, not have to worry about killing them, but still drain somebody's mana. Especially when you get the illusions out, it's pretty hard to deal with. I also like the MP are doing a 2-1-2 here, so they'll have the ability to pressure MJW pretty hard, which already 1437's doing. And then down bottom, they can actually contest this tri-lane. As we talked about last game, Omni, not a hero that offers a lot in these early levels. So the presence of Elder Titan makes it so that at least MSS can come up, leech some experience, and they can have a presence here instead of just sacking the offlane.
Look at these denies, though, man. He's just pounding away with this hammer.
Yeah.
This is the Omni contribution right now.
He's trying, man. He hits level 2. Skips Repel, actually gets that early point in degen aura just to chase him down.
Again, Stanking's doing a good job here, too. Just controlling up this camp to make sure they can't pull. Sometimes, if you know that kind of pressure is coming in, you might even see this blocked off, right? But seems like with the Shadow Demon, it's not a really big concern here from Stanking.
So, mid lane, one we haven't talked about too much. The OD versus Mirana matchup.
The old Max Astral again. Back to the old days. OD, right? When you used to steal int, that was always the funnest time.
Oh, yeah. That used to be the way to steal int. How I've forgotten.
What dark times they were.
Yeah, I tried to
When
block
all you
that.
could do was pick Viper or Razor.
Still a pretty obnoxious hero, though. And definitely outperforming the Mirana. 9-5 compared to the 5-1, so besting her in both CS and denies. Or last hits and denies, rather. MJW doing surprisingly well, though, honestly. He's able to stay pretty far forward in the lane.
Yeah, he's running out of tangos at this point, but he's been playing very well, just using that very high base regen of the Nyx Assassin to trade effectively with 1437.
He's out of regen, but Dazzle's out of mana, too. He's stuck with his clarity, and that's all he's got.
What you can do. AUI's doing a good job putting that pressure on top of him, too, though. Like, he's got the Orb of Venom. Because he knows that, where's MJW going to go, right? Until he's 6, he's here. Like, there's no Iron Talon coming out here.
Down bottom, Aqua in a lot of trouble. The Ghost helping him out. That additional slow makes such a difference. MJW with MSS with another stun. Visa will survive as they walk back in towards the tower, but quick first blood picked up by the Slardar of all heroes.
That's 2 games in a row, man, where they have this pressure from Elder Titan +1 and they get the first blood.
MSS, what a player. Now he's level 3. It's pretty huge. I mean, Slardar is one of those heroes.
Game 1, but whatever.
Oh,
It's two games separated by a game in between. But the last time we had this little 2v3 in the bottom lane, they were able to get the kill.
Yeah.
Close enough. We're taking it.
Yeah.
Shows the value here as Stanking goes for the ward suicide play. Classic.
Okay.
Oh, but he gave away that he was killed by Roche. I wonder if he'll know. Yeah, look at the ping. It comes out immediately because he knows he was denied by Roche.
We'll see if they actually counter it. But
they know, dude.
It's a good read.
Look at that sentry sitting in base. SVG's just like, you son of a bitch. Try this shit on me. Look at this. Goodbye, Ward.
Up top, MJW gets pushed back, but good night, Sweet Ward. It was all for nothing. Stan King.
Oh, wait. Wait, what? Why didn't he tango it? Oh, did he put his tango away? Oh, no.
Wait.
He had a tango, and I was like, yeah, he'll just come down and tango it.
Okay.
Oh, SVG.
Well,
That's fine. He can just throw the spirit up.
somebody will get it. Meanwhile, mid, they kill Mirana. MSS rotates, almost dies, but sprints in, gets the crush, and sets it up for Envy. Good kill there. They're getting control. Envy was already winning mid pretty hard, and now it's just total domination. Look at the CS difference. Envy about doubling him.
Yeah, this is why we kind of talk about something like an Alchemist, right? Someone who can like live and maybe do something this mid lane. Even he would have to go back to the jungle because you're still just going to get denied down every single time. But Mirana, not quite as fast in the jungle. Doesn't get that benefit from stacks at all. You're mostly just like arrowing creeps.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be another rough game here for Susie.
Elder Titan finds his level 4 down bottom now, and up top, MJW still sticking around. He's got his stick, brown boots, halfway through level 4, but they might actually be able to find the kill this time. He does have his Spike Carapace up in 1 second. Nice stun on 2. AUI still not yet level 6, actually not even level 5. The power of the Nyx Assassin.
I have to keep ferrying regen. It's a cost, but I mean, if you factor up the cost of an Iron Talon, you're at least harassing and causing AUI to not get perfect CS. Because he is coming up and harassing you. He's dealing with you the entire time. So MGW having a nice impact down here.
And on top of that, it's
Rotation.
all about XP for Nyx. So it's worth it to trade that gold for a level 6 if you can hold some presence in the lane.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, I can't believe they still have been able to get this, this ward. 137's coming down now. They'll throw the spirit up and they'll just tangle with it or whatever, but comical.
All right. The hero award.
Got to get that money, man.
The highly anticipated. There it is.
Been waiting for this for ages.
Well done, boys. The award still
We
stayed
did it,
up for like
guys.
half of its duration, though. It actually
I
ended
know.
up providing a decent amount of value. Smoke rotation now from NP, it looks like. Ping it out. MSS on the hunt. Okay, just finds a couple of creeps. All things considered, still a pretty happy Slardar. He's actually out farming the Mirana right now. Again, with this 3 of the NP4 cores in the top 4 of the net worth.
MJW playing bold again here, knowing the supports are done. This is what we talk about, though. Like, that space up top, MJW's been doing a great job of kind of adjusting to the fact that supports are basically never with AUI and always pushing that to the limit. With Axe last game, this time with the Nyx Assassin. That does kind of give maybe some... Whoa, Susie just queued right here.
That's unfortunate. Looks like just a misclick. He does get lucky in the grand scheme of things, though. SVG in 1437, looking to hunt Eternal Envy. Moving past the tower, just harassing with Astral. A little bit low on mana. Thought he might go for some kind of a play, but just hanging on to the ult for now. NP seem a little bit restless right now. Like, they really want to kill something. They just can't find the right angle.
Yeah, for now, it's like MSS is still trying to get like that Blink Dagger, so he can't help out. So it's just on these 2 supports, and it's pretty awkward, you know. Dazzle, Elder Titan, but all that pressure onto Susie can transition into a nice little tower push. He's arrowing range creeps, dude. Like, this is his game right now.
Yeah. Yeah, that was
Not a
definitely an
happy
intentional
Mirana.
farm, not a,
Yeah.
I'm going to hit the OD and do something. It always tilts me a little bit when I'm playing Mirana and you hit a neutral creep for like 100 gold and she's like, oh, god darn it. I'm like, no, that was actually pretty good.
Yeah, they haven't quite changed that one up yet.
That was the dream there, honey. Here we go, Envy on the run. Could be in some trouble here.
Nice.
3-second stun. Aqua on his way in, hits him with
I
some
hope
damage.
Susie gets this.
Envy gets off the grave.
They
He's
had
just
a-
going to TP home. He lives.
Oh
No,
my
he okay, dies in the well. How many stacks did he have?
I think 2 or 3, but
Yeah,
it was
didn't-
level 2 anyway, so
Enough that it
Easy
could just pop
peasy.
him. Yeah. Just had to time it right with the grave. Nicely done. Good attempt from Thievin, but now he gets initiated on MJW with a nice bout of burst damage from the Vendetta, and the Shadow Priest gets ripped apart in the mid.
here we go, man. That's MJW gonna start rolling.
That's the power of the Nyx, baby. That's what you do. Just like the Beastmaster, hit 6, find a rotation, get a kill, go right back to it. The beginning
Punch
of the
some creeps
snowball.
for a bit, then press R again, kill someone else. You know, welcome to Dota 2.
Hey, all the while, Bisa getting some space down bottom. Power treads, Ring of Health. Almost number 1 on net worth. He's farming well. This is pretty good for FDL.
But AUI, has he made any? Yeah, he's just doing the Vlads. Certainly the most sensible item this game.
Yeah, not going to switch it up too much. Keeping it standard. Is there any credence to Battle Fury Void these days?
God, I hope not. I don't think that's a thing anymore.
Talk about the old days.
It's still a nice cosmetic, though, so no, that's always going to be there.
Oh, yeah. Not many heroes actually have
done.
Battle Fury cosmetics. How did Mojo hit that?
Oh, that's one that we also haven't talked about, I suppose, right? Elder Titan Morphling. This used to be like, oh, you can't pick Morphling, man. Or it's like Morphling shows up, it's like, oh, wow, it's Elder Titan, dead hero. But you saw it right there, where you take away all his armor and he gets hit by that crush. You're like, holy shit, that hurt.
Well, that felt like it was just more the amp damage than anything else. But you have amp damage on top of the natural order, and Morphling is...
all base, baby.
Like, he's paper.
Oh.
Well, it'll be a tough game for Bisa. We'll see how they react to it. You're right. A counter we didn't mention.
It's just not as relevant as it used to be, I think. Like, it's not necessarily like the reasoning and everything isn't quite the same these days.
Yeah, it just doesn't feel as significant.
Oh, now
Up top, MJW. Chrono, he got off the Carapace before the Chrono went down, but it won't be enough to keep him alive, it doesn't look like. They drop the Sentry. They get off the Astral. They'll need some follow-up damage right away, and they get it. Faceless Void with the auto attack secures the kill. 3-2 at the 11-minute mark. All the while, though, Radiant split pushing. They'll get this tier 1 down bottom. Bisa getting credit there. And back up top. And P will finish off this guy. All right, little tower exchange.
More space, man. It's only 11 minutes. Pretty standard, but this tower being down just means there's no like quick rotations where, maybe like Nick starts setting something up so someone can just TP come on in, or like smoke plays coming from there. It's just a nice little bit of breathing room for them. A little bit of gold spread around the map. Not a massive deal for FDL, but it just, I think, makes AUI feel a little bit safer.
Lincoln's on the way for the
nice
Morphling.
spot, too. Spot Nick's Vendettas.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of cool. Omni very close to level 6. Always potential to take a team fight right at the turn of Guardian Angel. They will smoke up a little prematurely, though. They do have level 6 on Stan King, so a lot of initiation power. And 1437, level 9.
Oh, good timing on that
the Ags. Oh, my. Envy gets baited right into it. Arrow connects. Big stomp, though. SVG, they could still turn this one around. Envy drops the hammer. Aqua gets low. The right clicks will finish him off. Stan King low on mana. They finish off the OD. It's a 1-for-1, and now MSS joins the party. Stan King will fall. AUI gets a bash onto the Mirana. Leap forward right into the stomp. It also catches MJW, but they are lacking on detection. And Nyx will be able to survive through it, but a good fight for NP.
He's bottom from MSS and finds Bisa here with the replicate as well, but he can't get the kill. No one else is coming.
Yeah. All right.
No, nicely done.
1 for 3.
Envy knew they were coming. He knew that there was a Vendetta Nyx coming, so he just was like dead. That's why he fought that one out. The Vendetta did happen under this ward, which is why you saw AUI, who was like chilling here, and he just immediately ran back towards the tower, and then he saw that fight happening, so he had to come back in, but that vision ensuring AUI is the one who stays alive and ends up cleaning up rather than Envy in that fight.
Huge fight for NP, though, because it does secure the Blink Dagger now for MSS. So Slardar with a lot more initiation prowess. Hop in, rinse and repeat. They just need to shut down this Morphling a little bit. In this early game, will be looking pretty good. That disparity is growing for FDL. Morphling farming very well, and the rest of his team, especially the core, is starting to trail behind just a little bit.
Yeah, the vision game right now, that one ward we saw get placed on that Shadow Demon, it's pretty handy. I'm not sure if it spotted SVG. I want to say it did, judging by the way that like these lines are being drawn by Bisa. Oh yeah, there's a scan too. That was nice. It clipped him for just a moment. They want to lead with the Vendetta here. Yeah,
they'll continue pushing. He's got Vlad's, he's got the Chrono. SVG will just sit back, get ready to use the Earth Splitter in case they initiate. Also, interesting change from Envy. He's gone for the mech on OD. We've seen again that Hurricane Pike first item most commonly, but back to the old mech.
Pretty exciting. All right. I like it. A little bit of sustainability with the Vlads here.
Big mech fan.
Bad Buckler doesn't do that thing anymore. Would it just proc your aura? That was classic.
Wasn't it the same thing with, was it Arcane Boots, or was it, God, there used to be something really broken with...
Buckler was like the most broken
It
one.
might have been Buckler. That's probably what I'm thinking of.
Just get mana. All right, deny, MTW, God, no.
AUI
by a second.
Finishes off the tower. Meanwhile, a smoke in the mid from the rest of his team. The two-pronged assault looks like they're going to go for Susie up top.
He got greedy here.
No glyph. Nice deny, though, from MSS. Weave to scout it out, but... Oh, close call. TP's home and will live.
He's on each side of the map. Both people almost getting caught out there. AUI almost found out with a disruption there, but manages to TP himself out. And top lane, Miranda barely surviving. So teams across other sides of the map. Looks like FDL, they've already gotten down this tower. What do they want to do now? You're all grouped up. I'm just going to jungle. Want to use another Vendetta? What's the play here, boys?
And I think generally speaking, FDL have to be kind of cautious until they hit two core items. Lincoln's on the Morphling and the Aghanim's on the Mirana. Once both of those come out, I think they can look for some smoke rotations, start to find objectives and ganks, and fight around the Chrono a little bit. But for Mirana, she's halfway there, now level 11, so maybe not too long before Susie has an Ags and they actually have some decent burst damage here.
I was just about to go over this. I wasn't sure what MJW wanted to do because it's kind of an awkward point to start going Midas as a Nyx assassin here. So he's just going to go straight into the point booster, no blink or anything. Just knowing how valuable that Aghanim Scepter is up against the OD. I think that's what we saw the last time we had just Nyx up against OD. You know, just skipping right over Midas, skipping over blink, and ensuring that you get those massive range on the mana burns.
Roshan under assault. MSS with the amp damage makes it nice and easy.
Actually, no sentry here.
They know he's here, though. The double damage.
Oh, he took the rune. This is so cheeky, dude.
Ward
Despite
comes
having
down.
nothing to really do here.
Oh,
nice.
no.
Nice
MJW. Arrow splits the nines. Won't connect on anything. They should be able to find an easy kill on the Nyx. He gets a stun. That buys him a little bit of time. The tower gets denied, and MSS finds the crush. So Roche is still standing, though. Even though they kill the Nyx, they get a deny on the tier 1. NP are delayed in their objective. Oops.
Classic.
My bad. Sorry, observers.
That happens to the best of us.
Right back to Roche. Smiley. They kill the Nyx. Smiley face.
Yeah. Bias caster. God damn it.
Bisa. Nice repel.
No.
He should be okay. Oh, MSS actually misses the stun. He does get Demonic Purge, though. Maybe misjudges it a little. Stan King out of mana on the run. This is just space creation for the Roche. MSS will get the crush and a few right clicks. Finish off old Shadow Demon there. 1-0.
Yeah,
Aegis
Aqua
himself.
saves Bisa, and then Stan King saves Aqua. Lincoln secured.
Look at this from AUI. He will change things up a little bit, though. Echo Saber, his second item.
All right.
That's pretty cool. I like it. A little chasing power on the Void.
We're missing out on our defusal into Manta then.
Yeah. But gives him some nice stats. It is a little surprising, yeah, against an Omni that he doesn't want the defusal. Kind of higher priority. MJW, initiation onto Envy. They've got Bisa nearby. That's a pretty easy kill.
That's a Purify right there, man.
Wow.
Whew.
All right, Envy on the low ground, just not ready for it. MJW playing that mobile ward, stalked him down. Kills like that are how FDL start regaining some control. It's not a huge lead, about 3K net worth, 1,500 experience. But Morphling is number 1. And Lincoln's is up.
Yeah, what's nice about that, too, is just the Vendetta, like, the duration of that spell. It lasts so long that it's already, like, back up. You know what I mean? Like, he just got the kill, but because it's a 40-second duration, 70-second cooldown, all he has to do is he waits till they amplify damage, and he's right back at it. So MJW already going in, going to be scouting this out up here for Bisa, as well as Stanking, and they're in a really nice position. This ward, not doing too much to them right now. No one really passing by through there.
The loneliest ward. Up at the tier 2. MJW again, scouting things out. He's doing a really good job staying cautious with his positioning. Like, he's getting a lot of intel, but also being very wary that there could be sentries lurking in the midst.
Yeah, these are like the scariest spots to go to, right? Like right up around here, and now he's guaranteeing that he knows that's there because his ward goes down, and now he's gonna lose his other sentry too. So he knows this area is a no-go. Fully aware where the sentry is. At least there's that. But then this one also becomes very common. Basically, you just want pairings of observers and sentries everywhere to make sure MJW can't just freely do this.
Absolutely. All this slow gameplay, though, really
nice
helping
crush.
out the Mirana. Oh, who do they catch here? It's Stan King. That'll be a dead Shadow Demon. The Mirana, though, very close to Aghanim. Is now about 1 creep kill away. A worthy sacrifice.
One thing about their lineup, though, is because he's going for this Aghanim Scepter, it's going to be super good defensively. Like, if you can imagine how if NP's trying to approach and do an objective and they're there, then the long range of both the stuns as well as the mana burns from Nyx Assassins can be very good for them. But they have pretty much no initiation, right?
Yeah.
Like, what are their options here? If you didn't go Blink Nyx, they're pretty low on that.
It's true. A lot of interesting items picked up on NP. Envy now going for Hooded Defiance. We already talked about the Echo Saber on Faceless Void, and now a Vitality Booster on the Dazzle. Is he thinking maybe like an Atos? Oh god, AUI gets hit by an arrow mid. That's the end of the Aegis. Good night. He's coming on back. Maybe they can catch one. Nope, replicate away.
Must be just for the Lincolns, I guess, right? It's pretty solid. Grab the Atos.
Okay. Break the Lincolns. It does have a really long cast range. Pretty low cooldown. That's a good call, actually, yeah. Here we go, 747. Invisible, looking for the opening position with the Aghanims. Lackluster damage as MSS jumps in. Gets a stun on 2. Earth Splitter. Connects on most of them. Sets up for the Chrono. Connects on 2 as Envy drops the hammer. FDL starting to fall apart as Bisa now has to jump away. Nyx Assassin up top, and Mirana pretty much ran out as the fight started, but it will be a 3-0. Nowhere for Bisa to go. Beautiful fight from MP. Just such good use of their ults.
Yeah, they are certainly not lacking in control. When everything's online, man, Chronos, Earth Splitters, the Sleep Spin Throw, and then MSS just non-stop going through with these crushes is just absolutely brutal. All they can do is split push with Susie and MJW up in the top lane.
Yeah. They kind of make the most out of it after the fight started, at least. But nothing really stopping NP from just kind of rinse and repeat doing that again. MSS now has a Force Staff, so he's very mobile. The Void really starting to come online now with the Diffusal just about completed. So now Omni a little bit less of a threat, and the OD, he's completed a pipe. Now, we were talking about Luna last game being one of those heroes that can get away with more defensive builds because she has so much added damage, but OD, he fits the bill for that as well. As long as Envy stays alive, just doing right clicks make him do more damage by nature. You know, that pure damage is big enough as is. He doesn't really need damage items.
Yeah, typically we'll see this with, especially like an Oracle or something, where you're just getting false promised, and so you can just run into the fight and do all your stuff. You even get like the double healer you'll see sometimes if you're running the promise. Oh, wow,
Bisa.
actually stuns Bisa, but he should be okay.
Moonlight Shadow has been used. Waveform away. NP on the defensive here. Envy gets clipped by an arrow. Force stab back towards his friends. AUI now time walk forward. He does not have Chrono for another 20 seconds. Not the ideal time for NP to take a fight here. FDL will just back up. Okay.
There you go. But yeah, I mean, if you keep Envy alive, as you're saying, like something like the Grave and whatnot, or if from outside the Chronosphere, that damage really does start to add up over time. And it's a good hero with someone like a Slardar that loves those longer duration fights, right? Timbersaw, OD, people that are just like zipping in and out of the fight and building consecutive damage over time.
MSS looking for the opening, jumps forward, saves the stun, but does juke out a couple of spells there from FDL. Arrow almost hits AUI. That scoots by. Love the positioning from this Slardar, though. FDL able to siege this tower basically for, or pardon me, NP able to siege this tower basically for free. FDL are just pushed so far back in fear of getting initiated on by this Slardar. The supports have to stay behind the tier 3 tower.
Like, what do they do until there's an Aghanim Scepter on this Nyx?
And just look at the
they
vision.
Have no way to go in.
NP, man, they know exactly where they are. This is such safe sieging. With the Elder Titan in the back line, he just keeps spamming out the Spirit. And there's no way FDL can stop that vision. Looks like it'll be pretty much a free tier 2.
Once the repel wears off, though, I mean, that is an illusion against an OD, so those little cheeky plays don't last too long.
Yeah. Tier 2 down. And now the Chronos come back up. So as the Sanity's Eclipse.
Look at AUI, too, just grabbing the wave and pulling it mid. Putting the pressure both lanes at the same time.
Yeah. MSS misses the crush. Wayne Gretzky style. Just fishing for stuns.
Nice, nice. Fishing for stuns. Nice.
Fishing for goals.
Great pun.
Going to, yep. Come on, Slardar. You're going to where the puck is. You got to go to where the puck's going to be.
Wow, dude, that was beautiful. Yeah, you really are getting ready for this tournament, eh?
Dude, I'm preparing to go to Canada. I'm thinking about watching hockey.
Yeah, you probably should.
I'm about to watch that Wayne Gretzky documentary. It's supposed to be quite good.
I haven't heard.
You haven't seen it?
We're all past Wayne Gretzky. We're on the Crosby now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What's your team?
Oh, I'm a poor long sufferer Maple Leafs fan. So
The Maple Leafs.
we just don't talk about it. The way it works in Canada, basically, people are only ever fans of like the Habs, just like Montreal's team, or the Maple Leafs. Some people like Boston.
Wait,
I don't
what
know.
about
No
the
one really gives a
Senators?
shit
Isn't
about
it
Vancouver.
the
No
Ottawa-
one likes the Senators. I think
Ottawa
my wife's the
Senators?
only Senators fan I've ever met in my life.
Man, I thought the Senators were cool. You've
Nah,
got to be
they're
wild to
lame.
name your team after a bunch of bureaucratic officials. We are the Senators. We'll drown you in paperwork.
Yeah, we'll go with that.
I mean, the Maple Leafs, not a particularly
Actually, the
intimidating
Senators-
team either, but
They send out. It's really sad because they're right next to Toronto, right? So like when they have their games up against Toronto, I'm sure you know, but Toronto Maple Leafs tickets are notoriously expensive. Like people fly to Florida to watch Maple Leafs games in Florida because it's cheaper to fly down and watch the game there than to watch a game at the Toronto home arena.
wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's that bad. It's brutal. So when poor Ottawa has their games, all the season ticket holders for Ottawa sell their tickets when the Maple Leafs are coming to Maple Leafs fans for like a ridiculous price, and they have to like send out all these messages begging their fans not to. Great, but like they just like all make bank. You can like, it's actually ridiculous.
Wow. Senators for life, man. Look at that. What's a Hab? The Montreal Habs?
They're called the Canadians, but it's the Habitants, so everyone just calls them the Habs.
Is that how the French people say Canadian?
Well, they just say Canadian, but they call it the L'Habitant. So, the
L'Habitant.
Habs.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't get it, but surely it makes sense to someone. Okay. Well,
Here's
thanks.
your Canada education here, guys.
Crash
I mean,
course. Okay.
Nothing's happened here.
Yeah. So Farmville continues, and looking at the graph, NP still holding on to their lead. Roche, ooh, it's almost a max respawn. Still another minute till the big boy comes back. Perhaps why this game is stalled out just a bit here, both sides. Thinking about the next big objective. Bisa getting very close to shotgun territory. That's a Ghost Scepter now, about 3k gold. But, oh, yeah, I love it. Shadow Blade on AUI. Not the Blink Dagger, but still a great initiation tool. This will allow him to get in the back line, isolate the Omni, perhaps. Maybe that Shadow Demon. Also gives you a little extra damage, attack speed. It's pretty cool.
Build Echo Saber, buy more attack speed. Attaboy.
Attaboy.
Yeah, pretty funny little build, but they are getting split push, right? Like that's the name of the game here for FDL if they want to keep things going. Yeah, it's still pretty commanding control here from NP. It's not too crazy. We're only around like 7k or something, but
Yeah.
when you're looking for these heroes on the sidelines, Blink's not always gonna be able to catch it. Something like Leaping Mirana or of course the replicating Morphling. So Shadow Blade's definitely your safer option.
MJW hasted up. Looking for an opportunity. Mojo catches him with a stun, but the Knicks has a lot of friends inbound, and both sides will start to disengage a little bit. NP posturing forward, AUI. Limited duration on the Shadow Blade, forced to back out. No fight. But Roche has now respawned. Also a double damage outside of the pit. Always an opportune moment when that happens.
And maybe they could get the pit. Get the Roche. That'd be pretty sick. An FDL road, they really can't Roche. It's like, no. Chrono,
They
Elder
really-
Titan, Slardar, OD.
On
I
top
would
of
not
that,
be going into
they
this.
don't have good right click. They don't have any minus armor. It is maybe one of the worst Roche lineups we've seen in a while, especially up against all that AoE disable. Now the Ags is up on Nyx, however, so NJW now has a lot more to work with. He's got the Burrow Lurker status, but it will be an uncontested Roche. Just hand it over on the silver platter. The Hurricane Pike now out on Envy, and Faceless Void, no surprise there. He'll be the one to pick up the Aegis of the Immortal.
So that means Envy has gone mech, and then into the pipe, and then back to the Hurricane. Or rather, yeah, so pipe and pike. Jeez, that's a little confusing there. A little tongue twister. But anyway, it just means he doesn't have a BKB and he doesn't have a Lincoln Sphere. So this Aghanim Scepter, despite the fact that it's well delayed from when I'm sure MJW thought he was going to get it based on the way he did his build, still going to be pretty effective. Like, he'll
Yeah.
pipe, but one mana burn is going to take care of that pipe.
Absolutely. OD close to the level 3 ultimate. One drawback to this build, though, is OD's ult just doesn't have that same punch that it does if you go for an intellect-based build, essentially. So just the nature of the Nyx forces you into a more alternative build kind of like this, but it's still cool to see Envy make the most of it and
That
get
is
team
true.
fight build items.
That's a very good point, actually, because the last time we had the OD and he had his Lincolns, he was up to 120 int. And so it was doing that, like, 600 damage for reductions on the magic. But in this case, I mean, Envy's only rocking like 80, 88.
He's got plus 10 int on the Force Staff, plus 4 on the Magic Wand, and that's pretty much it. I guess a little bit on the mech, plus 5 there. This is about like as low int build as you can get on OD. It seems like it's still
He
buy
just needs
useful
that
items.
S&Y OD, dude.
Mask of Madness,
That was a good
S&Y.
phase.
Yeah. Farm, farm, farm. NP,
Yes.
only one outer tower remains, but hard for them to break high ground. They can't really just charge up. They definitely need to find a pick off, use that chrono, even with Aegis. They've got a gem now on Slardar, however, and also the Atos completed on the Bedazzler. Susie. Oh, chrono mid. Good night, sweet Susie.
Yeah, it took a while, but they got one. So how long do we have left? Quite a ways. Teammates assemble, blow the conch horn. In the high ground siege. Try and force a buyback here.
Would be pretty good. This game
what do we
feels
do?
so slow.
I mean, it's 4 to 13 to 31 minutes, right? Like, FDL, I kind of had this one moment where you're like, okay, yeah, we got a Vendetta Nyx mid, and things went, and they kind of happened, and then nothing. Both teams kind of dodging each other, taking towers. There's only 2 remaining on the Dire side. The last one
Objective
knocked down on
Dota?
Radiant.
What is this heresy?
I know, right? NA Dota. Times have changed, man.
Man, this
I
is-
remember back in the days of Canada Cup where we had that ridiculous, like, 60-60 kills game.
Yeah.
I think Root and someone else. I
I-
don't even remember. First
Ah, the
Complexity
solo
Squad or
mid
someone.
ogre. Yes, those days.
Your boy, shout out to your boy JC. And
Oh
all the
my
other Root boys. Man, he was like the original 4-position Night Stalker I saw.
Oh, wow. AUI. Big damage. Time Walk takes him back. This tier 3 tower taking huge damage. It will be killed. Envy clipped by a stun. He'll survive. Mech through it. MSS jumps
Carapace.
forward. Stunned up by MJW.
Oh my god, that time dilation is actually so good against Nyx, though. They're gonna have to repel him.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. Yeah, pretty easy to hit him with the time dilation. It's kind of like spell steal on Viper. Pretty much know what's going to happen on that one. But they get a tier 3 tower. It doesn't really cost them too much. Pretty much just the pipe mech cooldowns on Envy. And that's about it. Chrono now back up. Fishing arrows. Ooh, actually almost clips the OD. But not quite. 747. Playing with fire.
So Envy's the dream right now, eh? Like, that is what you really want. 'Cause that Aegis is still up in AUI, but there's the time dilation again. Poor bastard.
MJW gets stunned up. Now the chrono comes down. Isolates Stan King and MJW. Sets up a duo of kills for AUI. GA comes out, but it's too little too late. 2 down without buybacks, and it's 5v3 on the field. Susie doing what little he can. Does have a buyback available. OD drops the ult, just destroys Bisa before he can even morph towards strength. He's got a buyback. He'll use it. Still 5v3, though. Not an easy hold for FDL to make, and it's looking good that NP might be able to close this one out here, Trent.
Yeah, it's kind of felt this way for a while, but you had to find that moment, make sure they didn't overextend, didn't make the mistake that cost them game number 2. You would say the FDL were able to capitalize on and played very well, but this game much more patient, much more slow rolled here by NP, looking more like their former selves.
And just a good draft, very well-rounded, a lot of control. They can choose when to take their team fights, and when they've got everything online, the damage just feels unstoppable. Arrow again, does not connect. Barracks fall, and NP will walk away. All 5 still alive. Poor Bisa, man.
If they
I
drop
feel
a
like-
ward and re-engage.
I feel like he's farmed so well this game, but he just got destroyed in that last fight. Susie, oh no, jumps out. Not expecting NP to still be lingering around. Now the reinitiation comes. Disruption from Stan King. Does not do a hell of a lot. MJW isolated on the back line. Gets off a nice carapace, but shortly soon after, brought down. GG's called by Stan King as Bisa tries to fight him out. The shotgun breaks in half as he crumbles to the ground. 30-4. 20. Oh, it's 420. God damn. Memers unite. It's 420.
We did it, guys.
Well,
It's three
shit.
games.
Woo, it's dank in
you
here.
go.
All right, NP, well done. That was really, though, as you said, a very methodical game, very formulaic, low risk. MSS didn't die a single time. 3 heroes that didn't die a single time that game. MSS, AUI, and SVG.
Yeah, that's kind of what you expect, I suppose. They drafted an Omni-Knight Shadow Demon again with the Nyx Assassin, but MJW this time wasn't able to carry the team. Much harder on the Nyx Assassin than an Axe. Couldn't find those moments. Team NP, again, playing very close to the chest. A lot of 5-man Dota, Pipe, Mech, OD, and just using that to their advantage. So I think they just itemized and outmaneuvered FDL here.
Yeah, Matt, that's kind of what it felt like. So, Series 1 in the books. We do have another heat coming up next here, folks, and I believe it is Infamous versus the Wild Witch Doctors, and that is scheduled to start actually in just about 13 minutes. So we are going to have a little break and then move right on to our next series, both of which upper bracket round 2 matches. So that means now NP moves forward to the winner bracket finals, and FDL will go down to the lower bracket where they face, I believe, Pain Gaming. I'm actually not sure. That's match 8, so they go down to loser match 8. Yeah, they have a match against Doo-Wop coming up tomorrow. Doo-Wop. So stick around, folks. I'm Zyori. He's Wattpax. You're watching Moonduck TV. Thank you for joining us. We're coming back after this break with our second series.